Welcome back to the Nebraska Furniture Mart Locker Room Show, where I'm now joined by Neal and Breland to break down this weekend's NFL Draft. So, guys, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, obviously the headliner, but let's talk about the other guys who are arguably just as important, or will be just as important, in the second round. Casey goes with defense, going with linebacker Willie Gay Jr. What kind of impact do you think he'll have in Kansas City? Breland?
I really liked what Brett Veach had to say the other night when that was going on in the second round. And he flat out said, he's like, man, if this kid wasn't suspended, he would definitely have been gone by the first round. So we got a steal here. And yes, you know, as we have talked about before in previous shows, there are some red flags there. He was suspended last season, but according to Veach and Reed both, they kind of said that it was blown out of proportion, and I trust them. Looking at what he can do and also looking at his mentors in that room, Tyrann Mathieu, Frank Clark, and all of those guys as well that can really take him, under their wing and really kind of mentor this guy to mold him into being a real threat on the Kansas City defense. I'm excited.
You mentioned the red flags, Breland, but he also was quick to address that and say, look, I really regret those. I prayed about it. My mom and I talked about it, and we feel like we have moved past that. I am here to help win a championship and to be a better person both on and off the field. So he acknowledged it. He's ready to go. Neal, what do you think of this pick?
An NFL scout in the AFC told me that the one great thing about the guy is when he joins the Chiefs, he will be their best pass coverage linebacker that they've got. Not very often a rookie can come in and be the best at something on a championship team, but he said this guy is as good and as fluid a runner at the linebacker position as there was in the draft, maybe in all of college football. He will make them better immediately on third down just with his coverage skills. The negative was this. He said our team made the decision we would not have taken him before the third round because of what happened at Mississippi State. And that was such a red flag that he said his team had made the decision. If he's still around the third round, we'll take him, but not before that.
He wasn't the only one. There were a few other guys on that team. So I do think that a lot of scouts had to weigh those options. And like you mentioned, Breland, he's going to end up being a steal if everything comes out to fruition, and he has really moved past all of that.
Yeah, and I really think it is how you react. Everybody makes mistakes in life, whether they're big or they're small or they're on a national level and people hear about it nationwide, or it's just within your family. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's how you react to those mistakes. And, the fact that he came out and admitted to us right away. But on top of it, he said, I cried for 4 days. I thought everything was done. But you know what? I decided that's how you react, and every day I came to practice, and you would have thought I was going to go out there and play Alabama the next day, even though I wasn't playing at all. Yeah. I still was competing against myself and decided that this is how I was going to react positively, and this is not going to break me. And, that shows dedication. I think he's going to be great.
For the other day 2 pick, the Chiefs add depth to the offensive line and TCU's Lucas Niang. Are you guys surprised by this, or does it make sense? Neal, let's start with you.
Well, it makes sense on one thing. We know that the Chiefs love offensive linemen who can move around. We have seen that every year Andy Reid's been here. He's had to shift people on the offensive front because of injuries. And this is a guy who they believe can step in and play guard position. He's very athletic, has great feet, and as has been pointed out a lot, he never gave up a sack in a league that they throw the football a ton in, and they have a lot of outside edge rushers in the Big 12 because of that.
Breland, you like this pickup?
Yeah, and just to, kind of echo what Neal said, just to add on top of that, O-line was looking really, really thin at one point last year, so it doesn't surprise me at all that they decided to bulk up a little bit there.
Yeah, keep Patrick Mahomes clean. That's all we want. All right. On day 3, the Chiefs add 3 defenders. You got Sneed, Dani, and Keys. Are any of these guys names Chiefs fans should maybe expect big things from, Breland?
Sneed, man, I am excited about that one. I know that he says safety. He went in as a safety, but don't let that fool you. They are absolutely going to shift him back to cornerback, and I am so excited to see what he can do. They were talking about him earlier today. The scouts got on the Zoom calls a little bit and shared with us some of their knowledge and what they saw in him, and him being so long and lean but agile. Man, I'm excited to see what he can bring to that position.
Yeah, both he and the scout that brought him in said that his natural position is cornerback. He loves playing corner, but playing safety also allowed him to recognize things that are occurring on the field and know what all the other positions should be doing. So it made him smarter, it made him more knowledgeable. He's very good in not only in press coverage, but he can also drop back and give them space. He's very good off the ball as well because he's so smart. I'm really excited about him too. I'm also kind of excited to see what Keys can do because
Bo Pete.
Bo Pete coming in hot. So he's got a cool nickname, obviously, but he comes in. The Chiefs didn't think that he was going to make it to free agency, so they were passionate enough to move up into the draft to get this guy out of Tulane. So I know that he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. His uncle was a big Chiefs fan, so he's excited to be here. I'm excited to see what he can do. Neal, any of those names stick out to you too?
Well, I love Sneed. I think he's a guy that's got tremendous speed, ran, 4.36, 4.37 at his pro day, so we know he's got unbelievable speed. And the fact that he played safety also shows that he can do what? He can come up and hit people and make tackles. How often do we hear corners? Well, he's a great corner guy, but he's not very physical. He won't stick his head in, or he won't go out and make tackles. You cannot play safety at a high level unless you can tackle. Sneed has played safety, and he's got the skills to be a corner. I love it. I think he's going to be able to help them, and maybe immediately.
Nickel, dime, whatever, 4 safety set, put him in. He's going to be able to do it all just like Tyrann Mathieu can. Guys, thank you so much.